All right, let's
Keep positive.
bring on Dr. Sleep, because he's here also because we touched upon sleep, but might as well bring on the pro that knows everything about sleep. And Dr. Michael Breus is here. Get over here, Dr. Michael Breus, real quick. All right. So, Doc, tell us about how we could use sleep more effectively.
Hey,
so,
everybody.
one, we stay protected against this potential virus. And if we do get it, how we could actually recover quicker.
So I got a couple of things I'm going to say before I jump into that.
Go for it.
So number one, look at this right here. Ken is looking pretty fucking spectacular these days. Look at him. You've leaned down. You look amazing. I just want everybody out there to know Ken is working hard. I'm working, talking to this camera. Got it. So number one, you look fantastic. Just want to let you know. Number two, I've definitely had some interesting effects of the coronavirus to my family. So I thought I would share that with everybody. So
that's good. Let me get over here.
Some new different things. So many of you may remember that my daughter Carson was studying in Beijing for 5.5 months. So we actually had to evacuate her. She is home safe for anybody out there who was concerned. I've gotten some calls and some emails. So she's great. They were moving her from Beijing. They were going to move her to a new campus in Viterbo, Italy. That did not happen, as you can imagine, because they closed Italy down. So now, fortunately, I have my daughter safe and sound back at my house. So that is, in and of itself, is pretty amazing. Her SAT was canceled this morning. To give you any indication of the pandemonium that is going on here, like the SAT. You know, if she was applying to USC, that might actually be where she was headed.
Or you
the good news is,
USC.
right? The good neus is she scores pretty well anyway.
Okay.
But that being said, let's talk about the coronavirus. Let's talk about what's going on. First of all, you were amazing. So I almost every single thing that she said, I completely 100% agree with.
Which is the part you don't.
So there were a couple things about the sleep aspect that I wanted to add to, because I thought you did an amazing job for what we were talking about. A couple of things that I want everybody to think about. So number one, give yourself an electronic curfew 90 minutes before bed. The reason I want you to do this is you don't need any more corona data into your brain, okay? You need some separation from all the insanity out there. So if you can, find yourself something that's completely distracting to watch. Meditate, which is a great recommendation. Anything that you can do to sort of chill yourself out. Remember, sleep's not an on-off switch. It's more like slowly pulling your foot off the gas and slowly putting your foot on the brake. Give yourself some time to get there. If you give yourself a 90-minute curfew, you're not getting any data, it's going to be a lot better for you. Keep a consistent wake-up time. So you've heard me say this a million times before, but really do it now. And here's one of the things that's kind of interesting is you may actually have an opportunity now to change your sleep schedule. Because a lot of people aren't going into work. A lot of people aren't going into conferences. A lot of people are being able to change a lot of things. This is a perfect opportunity to health up, right? This is the perfect opportunity to spend some time, look at yourself internally, work on your sleep, work on nutrition, meditation. By the way, that artist rendering of all those things, absolutely incredible. I definitely agree with all of that stuff. Like, this is the time where we should be spending time on ourselves, on our family, and making sure that everybody is getting healthy and kind of be able to be more fortified when this all comes down. I'm also in the travel industry a little bit because I work on jet lag and I work in hospitality. All of those industries have gotten absolutely clobbered. So if you're worried about traveling, I'll be very straightforward with you. I'm getting on an airplane on Wednesday. I'm going to Arizona. I have a meeting there working with first responders. I'm not going to miss that. I'm not worried about it. I'm 52 years old. I'm very healthy. If you are over the age of 60 and you have any immunocompromise, if you have any respiratory issues, do yourself a favor. Don't go into a crowd. Like, it's just not that hard, guys. Like, we don't have to go crazy with all of this stuff, but if you've got any of those types of things going on, or by the way, if you happen to visit Wuhan in the last 6 months, do us all a favor. Don't hang out with us. Like, this isn't tough, right? Like, be smart and you will be perfectly fine. I 100% agree on the supplementation. If you can eat those whole foods and get those things, that's awesome. Unfortunately, as she was saying, much of our soil has been over-tilled and we just don't get the minerals that we need. Magnesium is key. I can't say it enough. Get yourself some magnesium. I personally, the brand that I like is called Mag SRT. It's 250 milligrams of magnesium with some vitamin B12. I like it in the mornings. It's definitely helpful for me. I also like vitamin D at night. Vitamin D3 is the thing that you need to take. I'll be very frank with you. I take 5,000 international units every single morning. It's a pill about this big, guys. It's not hard. Go on Amazon, buy it, get it for yourself, and use it. I can almost guarantee you every single person in metal is vitamin D deficient. I can almost guarantee it, because when I lived in Arizona, the land of the sun, everybody there was vitamin D deficient. So I promise you, everybody here probably is as well. A couple of other things to really kind of think through is, if you don't know what your chronotype is, remember early bird versus night owl. Again, now might be a time for you to explore that and be able to get in sync with your own internal biological chrono rhythm. A couple other things to think about is you really do want to avoid things that are going to stimulate you and things that are going to depress you, especially during this period of time. So if you're already nervous about the coronavirus, don't drink 12 cups of coffee during the day, okay? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to do that. And again, alcohol is not a sleep aid. Right? And so if you're worried, you're having a hard time calming your brain down, taking a couple of drinks before bed, while that might make you feel sleepy, remember, it pulls you out of the deeper stages of sleep. Right now is the time we all need good sleep. Remember, sleep is healing. Bottom line, sleep is when your body heals.
So Doc, can we actually during this time change our chronotype if we wanted to?
So you wouldn't necessarily want to change your chronotype, but what you could do is discover what it is. If you go to chronoquiz.com, right, and figure out if you're early, middle, night, or insomniac, I give very specific recommendations from that to tell you about when to go to sleep and when to wake up. You don't necessarily want to change your chronotype now. What you do want to do is sync up with your chronotype now. And again, we all might have that opportunity to do something like that. A couple of other things is, again, be smart. Don't overexpose yourself to things. Don't underexpose yourself to things. The easiest thing to do right now is to become dehydrated. You want to keep your hydration levels high. That absolutely helps with immune support as well. And if you can, get outside. I mean, just because you're quarantined doesn't mean you can't stand in your yard and throw the ball with your kids or your dog or your spouse or whatever. You know, being outside in the fresh air is a good thing. And maybe you should go on the hike. I want to see everybody tonight at the hike. And you were doing shout outs at the beginning. So I wanted to do a quick shout out. I want to shout out to Chris Heyman because I met Chris on a hike, but I didn't meet Chris through the normal because I brought my son to the hike, and my son met Chris and then introduced me to Chris. So there's lots of different ways. And my son has worked for Chris. So just a quick shout out. I want to thank all my metal friends. There's lots of people out there that I really rely on and depend on.
Awesome. Give it for Dr. Michael Breus. Thanks, buddy. All right, let's cruise through a lot. It's great, by the way. Can we pop on Will and what do we call that? The control center? What is that over there? The bridge? By the way, Chris Heyman, shout out over there, buddy. Come on, look at the camera, wave out to everyone.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, there's Chris.
Good to
Control center
see
over there.
you all.
And by the way, there's Jennifer. Jennifer, how are we looking there? How many people?
Oh,
What do we got?
144, still on.
100,
144.
144. That's incredible.